With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come into this one off a bit of a clunker last time out, a loss that ended their 5-game winning streak. Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The catch is made by Kendall Wright. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On second down, here's Penny. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. And that's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth. So first possession, 4th and short. Field goal's no gimme from here. You think about going for it?
I'm not just thinking about it. I'm signaling, go for it. Let's get this, all right? Yeah, look, you're right. You know, the field goal's there, but it's not a chip shot. My big thing is opening drive. You're trying to establish momentum. Let's not stall it ourselves. Let's go get this first down and then continue on downfield and try and get a touchdown.
Like your confidence.
Yeah, why not? Let's go.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
Here we go!
Barrett looks to throw on first. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
Off the play fake, Barrett. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll bring up fourth down. Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He's got his tight end in Njoku. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on fourth down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Frank Clark in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be. Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up.
Flex round! Flex round! Let's go! White, none! White, none!
From the shotgun, here's Barrett. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And out now come the Seahawks. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On third down, Wilson. Got a man, it's right. And all the way down to the 26. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks, and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Penny, a first down carry. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On second down, Wilson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw on third down, Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they'll throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Let's go! Grand 38!
They begin the drive with Johnson. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The Browns try to get back and set quickly here. Time ticking away.
Flex round!
On second down, Johnson. And he'll take this one only up to about the 21. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round!
Here's Barrett on play action. He sets to fire deep. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
They're going to try and throw. And this is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A good pickup there on first as a screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now Wilson on second down. That's complete right around the 8. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Now it's Wilson. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Wilson will throw again. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Oh, Charles, after that interception in the Super Bowl from the 1-yard line, I thought Pete Carroll would run it inside the 5 every time.
Sometimes I wonder if maybe Pete did want to run it inside the 5. But Russell Wilson, you know he's such a competitor that he doesn't want that interception to stand, that maybe he wanted to be in that spot and say, hold it a second, I can throw a touchdown pass. Instead, he's victimized again.
He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 81 yards. And the Browns were able to strike quickly for 6. Well, Charles, you said it after the 4th down stop. That's almost guaranteed points the other way, and that comes to fruition with the touchdown.
Well, the unnecessary risk did come back to haunt them, didn't it? End up getting those points that I predicted that they were going to give up because it's guaranteed points if you don't make that play.
Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. This is Carson. And some room to roam now. He's at the 50, the 40. He's at the 30, past the 20. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6.
Well, someone has a sense of the dramatic here, don't they? Scoring this late in the half to take the lead going into the locker room.
Now they just don't want to misstep misfortune on the next kickoff because there's still a little bit of time left on that clock.
Yeah, you do have to bring that up, don't you? In the NFL, every play is critical. If you give up something cheap there, all that advantage they just gained goes right out the window.
Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. You sure you're ready for the 3rd quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? All right, cool. Let's go. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. This one taken from the 7. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Barrett now on 2nd down. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make
the ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Wilson dumps that off to Penny as running back. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make it second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he'll get this up to the third. 44-yard line.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. A very solid gain of 27. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, right at the 40. Throwing is Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get him the first.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now Rashad Penny, and he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Joe Schobert able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has... Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Play action. Now Wilson. That's out to Hill. Right side complete. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. But wait up now, a flag is down. If this is on the defense, they're going to get the first.
Defense.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Albert Wilson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Barrett. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Frank Clark, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Here's Barrett looking to throw. Looking deep downfield. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play there on third down for the Browns. 54 yards.
I'm about to do a disservice to the catch we just saw. One-handed, coming down with it, just like that. Yeah, I know. Odell Beckham Jr. We're used to this, aren't we?
We are.
And that's just wrong on every level. That was spectacular.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Now from the 7, here's second and goal. To throw is Barrett. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Jonathan Hankins busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear him now. Third and goal. Back to throw Barrett. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. David Njoku, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns have cut it back within a score.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold them for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. When they go for it, sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe they're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit. And you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line.
Hey, 0-0-0. Hey.
And they'll run it again with Penny. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring it up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Here's Wilson. And he locates Josh Hill, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Seahawks, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7 and 3. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.
What's up, gang?
I got it.
I think it's my fault.
For real.
What's up,
Keep the
gang?
rest.
Hey, I got that check to go.
I'm gone.
A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce.
Good drip. Good drip.
But she love you. Don't cut your.
Yeah.
Reynolds Da Vinci is white.
That's light.
Limited Louis, that's light.
Too light.
Rape in the city, that's light.
That's light.
LED, look at the lights.
Too light.
We the ones don't like.
Don't like.
But you look too light.
Too light.
Why even play with your life?
Your life.
Bank account looking like yikes.
Looking like
I went from filling out kites
That's a call.
to putting it in my block. New Gucci sweater is drill.
That's drill.
Somebody give me a.
Drill.
These ain't like the cops.
Like bugs.
Gossiping more than a. In jail I had. I make you cut off the.